How do you get past the pain of missing loved ones and not being able to see them? It's the holidays, so, we have Thanksgiving coming up, and then Christmas will be very, very soon, just around the corner, as well as a new year. And I have not seen my nieces nor my nephew in years. And it's really starting to slowly eat away at me. I throughout my day, I try to find, even if it's just one thing, I just spit, by the way. I try to find something to, I guess, take away from those feelings that I have. Like the other night, I cried myself to sleep. And it seems to be, it always gets harder every year as the holidays come up. So it's sad because that it's not going to be how it used to be. Those of you who have been following me know my story, and those of you who are new, back when I was 25, I'm 29 now, but back when I was 25, I ended up sharing what had taken place to me as a teenager. And because I did that, I got to lose all my family. Now, that to me was the best decision I could have ever made, because I am out of this toxic environment that I was living in most of my life. But it also had taken away people who I've grown up to be with. Like my siblings, for example. We were all best friends. And when you lose all three of them and they have kids, then you lose your nieces and nephew as well. I remember the holidays. At that time, when everything was taking place, you don't realize what's going on. So obviously you're going to take every moment special. When it came to Christmases and New Year's, it was a special thing, even though in the back of my head, I know what happened. I never looked at that as anything than it was, And now, as a 29-year-old man, living on my own, well, with my partner and our 4 little fur babies, it's so surreal now, I can't go back to think about my my situation. I can't go back and think about my decision on if it was a right decision or if it weren't. And so all I have to do now is try my best to know that everything will work out how it should. I still have a Facebook, and I'll get on Facebook sometimes and I will look up my sister. Like the other day I looked up my sisters and I had seen my nieces and my nephew, and they're just living their lives, They're just going on, living their lives, and who knows what they've told them, why their uncle isn't in their life anymore. I hope and pray that they're not painting a horrible picture about me, but at the same time, you never know. Am I going to be hitting my 40s? Am I going to be hitting my 50s before I ever get to see them again? I don't know. But that's something that I can't think about as my days continue on this earth, because then it really puts a hold on your life. There's been many things where I've got left out on because I was so trapped in my mind, and it ate away at me. So as a survivor and as us who have survived the unthinkable, we have to be the ones who, we have to be the stronger ones. Because I don't know if this is, if not seeing me is eating away at them, but I know it's eating away at me, but I can't have it take over. You know what I mean? If I let it take over, then they've won, and I don't want them to win. I want my nieces and nephew to grow up knowing that their uncle did everything that he can into making a bad, making making an irrational decision, because it was, I kind of just like, came out and just told everybody everything. I never thought about any consequences that were going to happen. And I want them to really grow up and be like, you know what? And he's still here. Like, he told a story, he made it out, barely alive, losing everyone that ever meant anything to him. And he's here. I posted a video last year of the best Christmas ever, and it's on my channel if you'd like to see it. And it really was, in a way, one of the best Christmases ever. But it was also one of the hardest Christmases ever, because it was like the first Christmas where I have had my own place, never had to be around either toxic people or any of that. But it was also one of the most loneliest Christmases I've gotten to experience. And that's kind of weird to say, And this year it may be kind of the same, but depending on if I have money around that time will depend on if I get myself anything, because last year I did get myself something, and as well as someone who means a lot to me had gotten me something also. So, but I don't know, it's just the days never seem to get easier. You just learn how to cope with it better. Instead of like alcohol, which I was using a lot of my depression into drinking alcohol to make me feel better. I use that to like filming or writing or even drawing, coloring. I love to color. I want to go back out to nature again, if I get the strength to do that. Which, by the way, can I just say, you guys, please don't feel bad for me. I've said it before, and I will always say this again. I am in a so much better headspace than before. I have moments. There are definitely going to be moments, but I'm a lot better now than I ever was. So please don't feel bad for me. It's just something new that I've had to deal with, because I don't know what it's like to not have my siblings for this long. We have always been together. I don't know what it's like to not have my nieces or nephew. I met my nephew one time and he was a baby. I got online and seen that he's hitting about three, maybe 2 years old. That's 3 years of his life that I was never in. The same with my niece. She's hitting, well, both nieces, It's sad. And especially, I sit and think about what's going on in today's world, in today's society. And it breaks my heart, because you would think that the people who you love the most, you want to be around them at a hard time right now, but that's just not the case. And I have to learn how to not only not blame myself, like don't blame myself for everything that's happened. People come in and out of your lives, and apparently that's family too, people who you've known your whole life. But If I quit now and if I stop going, then I'll never know what or where I could become. So I can't quit. Um, so I guess all I have to do is try to make try to make the best of what I have now. I have my little fur babies and they keep me plenty of company, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? We know that, but they do help at like depressing times. I just know that Thanksgiving is coming up and I lost some, but I've gained a couple back. I am slowly starting to rekindle my relationship with Gianni's mom, and that makes me grateful. That makes me very happy. Now, before I get emotional, I know I'm going to get emotional, but so if you are in a situation where you don't have access to the people or the things that you love and would like to have, there are always better days. There are always better days ahead. There are, if you don't give up. Once you give up, it's like you've let the evil or the enemy or you've let the things you've let those win. And so that's why I don't want to give up. So thank you to everyone else. I mean, thank you for everyone who has been following me through this journey and who has continued to follow me. It really means the world to me. We're almost in a new year. Don't know where the new year is going to lead us, but we can't give up. So I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next video.